Are you starting to panic because you're on a GLP-1 and all of a sudden your hair is falling out? Let's talk about it. I'm Tiffany. I am a physician assistant, but also a GLP-1 advocate. So I help people get access to GLP-1s that cannot get them through traditional insurance. So if that's something you're struggling with, there are some links over here in my bio that can help you out. So as a healthcare professional, here's what I want you to know about this. About 30% of people who lose weight report shedding of their hair. Now, this actually doesn't start right away. It's usually more noticeable at about the 3-month mark and really noticeable at about the 6-month mark. Now, we actually have a very fancy name for this. It's called telogen effluvium. Now, what's going on is that normally about 10% of your hair follicles are in a resting phase. But when your body is stressed by weight loss, hormonal change, or truly any kind of change at all, more of your hair follicles will go into a resting phase at one time. So up to 30% of your hair follicles will actually flip over into that resting phase. Once your hair follicle goes into the resting phase, the hair that's in that follicle will shed. Now, it won't do it right away, but it will do it within 3 to 6 months. Now, here's the really important thing I need you to know. Just because that hair sheds out of the follicle, that does not mean it's permanent hair loss or damage to the follicle. So there's nothing about GLP-1s that themselves damage hair follicles. Basically, just these big metabolic shifts in your body cause your body to reset. And this really affects some people and some people's hair follicles. Now, once your weight evens out and your nutrition stabilizes, most people's hair follicles will also even out and it'll go back to that normal 10% in the resting phase at all times. For the most part, after the hair actually sheds, then within about 3 months, you'll see new growth coming out of that follicle because the hair follicle itself is not really damaged. So in the meantime, what can you do to make this better? Here's what research and clinical evidence says that you can do to help. Now, I'm going to be honest, there's not a lot that you can do about the shedding, and this really wakes people out. But there is some things that you can do to help the regrowth happen faster. First and foremost, you have to prioritize your protein intake. So for a woman, you want to try to shoot for 80 grams of protein daily. For a man, you want to try to get in at least 100 grams daily. Number 2, we have to look at your nutrient intake. So iron deficiency is a huge problem, and we have to also make sure you're taking in plenty of zinc, iron, and biotin. You have to be patient. You have to remember that hair cycles work in months and not days. So just know that your hair follicles are not damaged permanently, and you know that there's going to be regrowth. It just takes a little bit of time. So just fuel your body and watch for signs of regrowth. Number 4, evidence is still emerging on this, but collagen peptides have some research behind them to show that they improve the quality of the new hair growth. So for the most part, collagen supplements are safe for most people to try, so that is something that you can look into. If you need some examples of something to try, then there are a link over here in my bio, and I've got some in my favorites list on my link tree. So just keep in mind, shedding can be very unsettling, but it is very temporary and not permanent damage. So remember to keep fueling your body, and for the most part, people will see their hair bounce back.